I should have known something was wrong the moment I walked into that bar in Accra. The night felt off. It wasn't raining, but the air was thick, like it was holding something dark. My friends, Ama and Efua, were already there, dancing, drinking, and laughing like nothing could touch them. But me. I felt like something was watching us. The bar was packed. Music was loud. Lights were flashing. But deep inside, I felt this weight in my stomach. You ever get that feeling, like something bad is about to happen? Yeah, that's what I felt. Still, I tried to have fun. I had a few drinks, but I kept my eyes on everything around me. As the night started winding down, people began to leave. The bartender turned down the music. The lights started to dim. That's when I noticed Ama and Efua were missing. I looked around, panicking a little. Then I remembered they had gone to the bathroom together. But that was almost 10 minutes ago. I walked closer to the bathroom, and just then, I saw them come out. Ama looked weirded out. Efua looked totally fine. Too fine, like she was still partying in her head. Ama walked straight up to me and said, "We need to get the hell out of here." Her voice was shaky. She said that while they were in the bathroom, some strange woman walked in on them. This woman didn't knock, didn't apologize. She just stood there, looking at them and said, "Oh, you ladies are busy." Then she smiled, but it wasn't a normal smile. Ama said it was like her face was wearing a mask, and the real her was hiding behind it. There was something dark in her eyes. Something evil. I said, "Let's go." Ama agreed, but she said, "Let me just grab Efua." That's when things got worse. Ama walked back toward the lady and Efua. I stood by the door, waiting. 5 minutes passed. 10. I was getting angry. I didn't want to go back, but I had to. So I walked back toward them, and my heart almost stopped. Efua and Ama were laughing and dancing. The strange lady was there too, telling the DJ to turn the music back on. Everyone else had already left. The bar was supposed to be closed. But the lady said, "The party just started. My guests are here." I backed away slowly. I told Ama, "I'm leaving. I don't feel good. Something is not right." The lady turned to me and asked, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yes, I'm sure." And then she looked at Ama and Efua and said, "Let her go. She's going to ruin the party." That was it for me. I walked straight out of there, heart pounding in my chest. Something told me I had just escaped something very, very bad. I got home drunk, dizzy, spinning. I passed out the moment I hit the bed. But the story wasn't over. Not even close. The next morning, my phone rang. It was Ama. She was crying. "Efua had an accident," she said. "What? What happened?" I asked, heart racing. Ama said that after I left the bar, she stayed behind with Efua and the strange lady. The woman kept giving them more shots, even though the bar was already closed. The music was back on, and they partied like it was midnight again. But something was wrong. Efua was glued to the woman like a moth to fire. About 20 minutes later, Ama finally convinced Efua to leave. Efua had her scooter, and Ama was walking behind her. They were just a few minutes from Ama's house. It was late. The streets were empty. The only sound was the quiet hum of the scooter. Then it happened. Efua turned around to laugh at something Ama said. Just a joke. But when she turned back to look at the road, a car was suddenly there. A car that hadn't been there before. Ama said it felt like the car came out of nowhere. Like it wasn't driving. Like it just appeared. Efua panicked. She swerved hard to the side to avoid the car. But instead of hitting the brakes, she smashed straight into a parked vehicle. Face first. Her body hit the ground. Her face hit the pavement. Ama ran to her. She screamed when she saw her. Blood was pouring from Efua's mouth. Her front teeth were gone. Her bottom lip was split wide open. Her nose was twisted. Blood was everywhere. Ama picked her up and called for help. She took Efua to the hospital. Efua was barely awake, mumbling, crying. She kept saying, "My face, my teeth. It hurts, it hurts." At the hospital, doctors said her nose was broken, her lips needed stitches, and she had fractured her jaw. One of her teeth had been knocked right out of her mouth. It was a good thing Amma grabbed the tooth from the ground. They were able to save it. Amma was shaking as she told me all this. But there was something else that made her skin crawl. She told me that just before they left the bar, the strange lady had walked up to Efua and touched her face. Not just anywhere. The lady placed her hand on the exact side of Efua's face where her injury would later happen. Then she kissed her on the cheek, smiled, and said, "Later, girls." The same cheek, the same side, the same smile. And now Efua was lying in a hospital bed, her mouth destroyed. I said to Amma, "She got what she came for." Amma was quiet for a long time. Then she said, "You think this was some kind of ritual?" I said, "I think she came looking for blood. And she got it." But the story doesn't end there. Amma went home that night. Her white sneakers were covered in blood from helping Efua. The next day, she got up and went to put on those same shoes. They were clean. Not just a little clean, no blood, no stains, no smell. Amma thought maybe her mother cleaned them while she was sleeping. But when she asked her, her mom said, "Why would I touch your shoes? I haven't even seen them." Amma ran outside to check the place where Efua had fallen. The car was still there. The dent where Efua had crashed into it was still there. But there was no blood on the ground. It hadn't rained. Nobody cleaned the street. But the blood had vanished. Just like that. Amma said she remembered what Efua told her 2 days earlier. They had been talking in Amma's living room, joking about spirits and demons. Efua had laughed and said something she never should have said. She said, "I don't believe in that stuff. I'd have to meet the devil myself to believe it." I think she did. And he kissed her on the cheek. After the accident, Efua spent a few days in the hospital. Her face was swollen. Her mouth was stitched. Her nose looked broken in more than one place. But she was alive. Amma and I went to visit her. She could barely talk, but her eyes said everything. Fear, shame, confusion. We sat beside her quietly for a while. Then I said, "Do you remember what happened at the bar?" She nodded slowly. "Do you remember what that woman did?" She blinked hard, then whispered, "She touched me. Right here." She pointed to her cheek, the same one that got kissed. I asked, "Do you remember what you told Amma 2 days before? About needing to see something to believe it?" Efua didn't answer for a long time. Then she said, "I didn't mean it. I was joking." But it was too late. She had said it. She had wished it. And something heard her. Something that came in the shape of a woman. Something that waited in the dark. Something that feeds on people who don't believe until it's too late. The more we thought about it, the more it all made sense. That lady didn't just appear in the bathroom with Amma and Efua by accident. She was waiting. She didn't just ask the DJ to turn the music back on when everyone had already gone. She was buying time. And she didn't just kiss Efua out of kindness. She was marking her as the one. After we left the hospital, I told Amma, one of us was supposed to be the offering. It was true. That night, in that bar, someone was supposed to be chosen. First she looked at me, but I had already sensed something and stepped away. Then she looked at Amma, but Amma's spirit was too strong, too prayerful, too protected. But Efua doubted. Efua joked. Efua flirted with the dark, and the dark flirted back. I remember walking home that night, heart racing, feeling like something had almost taken me. It had reached out and missed me by inches. And now I understood why. Efua had taken my place. And even though she survived, something was taken from her. Amma later told me something else that made my blood run cold. After Efua came home from the hospital, Amma went to visit her again. They were sitting on the couch, trying to act like everything was normal. Then Efua said something strange. "Sometimes I hear her." Amma blinked. "Hear who?" "The woman. The one from the bar. She whispers to me at night." Amma said chills ran up her arms. Efua said the voice tells her she's still marked. That she belongs to her now. That the party isn't over. The worst part? Efua wasn't scared when she said it. She smiled. Just a little. Like she remembered the kiss. That was when Amma called me in the middle of the night and said, "I think something stayed with her." I said, "Then we need to pray. Now." So that night, Amma and I prayed over Efua. We prayed like we never prayed before. We called her mother, her auntie, and even the church elder from down the road. They came and prayed too. We anointed her house, burned incense, sang hymns until dawn. And the next day, Efua said the voice was gone. Gone, for now. So if you're ever in a bar, or a club, or even a house party in some dark corner of Africa, and a strange woman comes in after everyone else has left, and she touches your face, leave. Don't stay to ask questions. Don't stay for one last drink. Don't stay for the music, because that kiss might be your last. Thank you for listening to this real horror story. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy tales from Africa. And remember, sometimes the scariest stories are the ones that really happened. Stay safe out there.